One, just mopped up talking about ivermectin and how Joy Reid and Rachel Maddow and all these other so-called credible journalists ran with this story in Rolling Stone magazine about a hospital in Oklahoma and other places that were being overloaded with people overdosing on ivermectin. Hospital said, nope, didn't happen. Joy Reid wasn't finished, folks. Yes, you know, assaulting journalism is a hard job, apparently. She essentially has started a spat with the rapper Nicki Minaj. Now, that's not, if that's something you had on your 2021 bingo, then you win all the prizes. Okay, that's certainly not anything I had on my 2021 bingo. I was done after 2020 bingo. Okay, 2020 bingo was too much for me. 2021 bingo, even more too much for me. Here we go. So, Nicki Minaj revealed that she had not yet taken the COVID-19 vaccine and said that if she does get vaccinated, it won't be to attend the Met Gala. Now, the Met Gala is this sort of rich people event that they have in New York City every year where the rich people come out and dress in ridiculous clothes and get their picture taken. And AOC showed up at the event with a Eat the Rich or Tax the Rich dress on or something, so she could virtue signal and keep her leftist credentials intact, I guess. But yes, Nicki Minaj was supposed to be there, but she said she wouldn't because they were requiring her to be vaccinated. And she said she hadn't been yet, and that if she did, she wouldn't for the Met Gala. She told her fans that she's holding off until she's done more research, and essentially said that a friend of her cousin in Trinidad became impotent and his testicles became swollen after he got the COVID vaccine shot. And this is where all hell broke loose. Joy and Reid had a lot to say about this.
And people like Nicki Minaj, I have to say this. You have a platform, sister, that is 22 million followers. Okay, I have 2 million followers. You have 22 million followers on Twitter. For you to use your platform to encourage our community to not protect themselves and save their lives, my God, sister, you could do better than that. You got that platform. It's a blessing. It's a blessing that you got that people listen to you, and they listen to you more than they listen to me. For you to use your platform to put people in the position of dying from a disease they don't have to die from. Oh my God, as a fan, as a hip hop fan, as somebody who was your fan, I'm so sad that you did that. So sad that you did that, sister. Oh my God.
Oh man. So yes, obviously anybody who is familiar with the 39-year-old Minaj knows that Nicki ain't gonna take something like that sitting down. And so she went back on the attack on social media to brand Joy Reid as a lying homophobic coon. The coon because she's getting her dumb behind on TV a minute after a tweet to spread a false narrative about black women. This is what happens when you're so thirsty to down another black woman by the request of the white man that you didn't even bother to read all my tweets. My God, sister, do better. Imagine getting your dumb behind on TV a minute after a tweet to spread a false narrative about a black woman. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Oh, yes. What's going on? Is there a lady on the show?
No, there is not. I just played a clip from Joy Reid.
Oh, okay.
So you can.
It's a lady doing a lot of laughing and whatever, but you know you can tell people are talking, but you can't hear nothing. It's just a lot of static.
Yeah. We're right now we're trying to get the as I told you earlier, we're trying to get the the terrestrial radio situation working. But we are streaming on Facebook at WLTH AM 1370.
Okay. All right. Thank
you.
You
can definitely watch and listen there.
Yeah, I won't call no more because I don't stream.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for your call. Yes. So apparently it has not been fixed yet. We're still working on the signal and trying to get all that working again. But like I was saying, Nicki Minaj added, Uncle Tommyana asked who on earth would trust the U.S. FDA guys alongside of a tweet that Joy Reid had posted last year where she had questioned trust in the vaccine. Reid said in a tweet, who on God's green earth would trust the vaccine by the U.S. FDA? Later, Nicki Minaj also said she wasn't discouraging others to get the jab, especially those who need the shot to go to work. She added, a lot of countries won't let people work without the vaccine. I definitely recommend they get the vaccine. They have to feed their families. She also added that she'd be likely to get vaccinated in the future if it is required for travel, saying, I'm sure I'll be vaccinated as well because I have to go on tour, etc. Now, if that's not enough, Joe Biden and the White House gets involved, and they have offered to talk to Nicki Minaj over the phone about the vaccine. I guess if she calls, or if they are offering to call her. But this just goes back to, once again, and me and Rev talk about this every week, the politicization of this vaccine and this pandemic. Now, Nicki Minaj made a very sterling point in her explicit and derogatory tweets about Joy Reid. She said last year she showed a screenshot of Joy Reid saying, who could trust the FDA guys? Who on God's green earth would trust a vaccine by the U.S. FDA? She did tweet that. She said that. Joy Reid, less than a year ago, said exactly that. And when Russia and China put out their vaccine, Joy Reid was more than happy to go out there and ask questions about who. Well, the entire media was happy to ask questions like, how could they have a vaccine so quickly? How could they have a vaccine so quickly, folks? How could they have such a vaccine that will work in such a quick amount of time? Now, Russia's vaccine, Sputnik V, is used in 64 countries around the world. 64. But yet it was okay to question whether that vaccine worked or not. But it's not okay to ask whether one that was developed in this country is too soon as well. But it was also okay to question this country's vaccine when Trump was in office. So, like, all of this is confusing. All of this is confusing. I've had people tell me personally that they would not take the vaccine while Trump was in office. Black people who thought that Trump was going to do something to the vaccine, put something in the vaccine specifically to hurt black people. That was a very popular thing to say at the end of last year when the vaccine first came out. Now, while we have to act like the vaccine is all, perfectly fine because Biden's in office, is beyond me. People should just be honest. Just be honest, everybody. This has turned into a political situation. This has become a political football, unfortunately. If you support Joe Biden, if you support the Democrats, then you're pro-vax. If you don't support the Democrats and you don't support Joe Biden, then being anti-vax is you're more likely to be anti-vax. Me personally, I have never told anybody to or not to get the vax. I never have. I've been very open and honest about the fact that I have not taken the vaccine yet. But that's because I don't feel like I necessarily need to at this point in time. I'm in this building at WOTH right now here in downtown Gary, Indiana, the greatest city in all the world, by myself right now. There's nobody else here right now. Okay, I'm doing this cast alone. Unfortunately, Reverend Campbell is out, and I believe there's somebody outside trying to fix the signal. But I am inside the building by myself. I'm not around a lot of people. And usually it's just me and Reverend Campbell here. Usually at this time on Fridays. Or when I'm here doing issues and answers, either somebody's calling over the phone and I'm here by myself running the boards while they're on the air, or there's one or two other people here. My other job I'm able to do from home most of the time. I'm not around a lot of people. I'm not going out to dinner. I'm not going to do that during the middle of a pandemic. Sorry, folks. Not gonna go. Definitely not gonna go out to eat in the middle of a pandemic. That's just what it is. I ain't doing that. So, and I'm definitely not attending any sporting events in the middle of a pandemic. And I wouldn't suggest you do either. I see people at college football games, and I'm sitting there like, have these people lost their damn minds? 100,000 people in a football stadium breathing on top of each other in the middle of a pandemic. I'm sorry, I can't support that. I just can't. I mean, I'm fine with people having their families over. Me and my family have family get-togethers and family dinners, and have had those since the pandemic has happened. We do that regularly. So I'll see my brother, sister, niece, and parents. That's it. Haven't been to a large scale event in 2 years. Well, I'm sorry, in a year and a half. And don't plan on it anytime soon. That's just life, everybody. Yes, I know it's not fair. And yes, I know kids got to go to school. But you do not have to go to a basketball game unless you're one of the players or coaches. You do not have to go to a football game unless you're one of the players or coaches. You do not have to, go to a rock concert unless you're one of the people playing. I understand. I understand that people want to get back to their lives. But you got to be smart. You really do. And like I said, I'm the last person to judge because people judge me for not being vaxxed. But if you are trying to do all that stuff, then you better make sure you're vaxxed. I'll say that. You better make sure you're vaxxed if you're doing that stuff. But because I can basically avoid doing that stuff, and I'm completely fine with keeping my social circle very small, then, I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty good not being vaxxed until it's absolutely necessary, until there is long-term data on the vaccine. But once again, I have never discouraged anybody from getting the vaccine. Never done that. I've never done that, and I will not do that because I believe in personal freedom and personal choice. I have on this station recommended other people to get the vaccine and told them where to go to get the vaccine. That's what's best for them. My parents are over 60. They've got the vaccine. They should have the vaccine. My grandmother is 90. She's got the vaccine. And she should. I'm 100% pro her getting the vaccine. The same thing with anybody else who's over the age of 60 or who works in the medical profession. Or who works with children. I think it is a balancing act between personal choices and personal responsibility. Because we all have a responsibility to the society. I agree with that. That's why I wear my mask. That's why I'm in this studio by myself. I'm still wearing a mask. I feel a responsibility to my coworkers here at WLTH 1370 AM. I'm a younger guy. COVID probably won't kill me. I'm in my 30s. I'm healthy. I work out every day. I take vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, ginger root. I do all that. So I will probably not die of COVID-19 in most cases. If I wear my mask and stay vigilant, I probably won't catch it. And if I do catch it, I probably won't have a high viral load based on my health profile. But I do feel that I have an obligation, everybody here at WLTH, to wear my mask. I'm not going to be an anti-vaxxer and tell people not to get the vaccine and be an anti-masker and tell everybody to not wear a mask. I'm not going to do that. I don't believe in that. And I think that a lot of people have been allowed to get away with being reckless because, once again, we live in a politically polarized culture where things like wearing a mask or getting vaccinated or just being a decent human being have become polarizing and political. All right, folks, listening online, give me a call, 219-885-1371. That number again is 219-885-1371. I am Scott Cannon. It is 6:48. We got to go to a break. I'll be right back right after this.